Yo guys, Slav here with another mousepad review. I have PURETRAK's MF2 and MF1, so let's get right into it after you sub and follow me on Twitter. Out of the box, they rolled out completely flat and have relatively the same dimensions at 480mm by 400mm, with one of the main differences being that the MF2 is 4mm thick and the MF1 is 3mm thick. They both have a natural rubber base, and personally I had no issues with either of them moving, but the MF2 does feel a bit more sticky due to the thicker base. Both of them are on the firmer side of rubber bases, with MF2 being a bit easier to dig in with your fingers. The stitching is the same quality on both pads, but it's even more closer to flush on the MF2 again because of the thickness. However, the stitching is like really comfortable on both pads, and I can barely feel it on my arm. And again, I'm someone who usually doesn't like stitching, but I don't mind it on either of these pads, so good job to PureTrack. The surface really reminds me of the red Kinsu from my esports tiger video from a few months ago, but even smoother on both of these pads. And these pads, even though they're so smooth, don't get dirty easily with dirt or dust. You can just wipe it off with your arm or a cloth. The speed of the MF2 is a pretty balanced pad, but on the slower side, and the MF1 is much slower, closer to GSR. Both of them are consistent on the X and Y axis, and both of them are heavily affected by humidity. Even though they use like a synthetic material, the weave is like just so smooth and tight, it just does not have any humidity resistance. Printing looks really good on these pads, and like they match the pictures on the website perfectly, even down to like the small gradients and like gradients and all the grays and reds. It looks really good, and all like the small fades and color differences on the abstract art look pretty darn good, especially for a mouse pad. So for the price, it's actually really good. Overall, I enjoyed both these pads for Valorant and CSGO, but I prefer the MF2 just because it feels a little bit more premium with a better base and thickness. It didn't really have anything to do with the speed, even though I prefer slower pads. The MF2 just let me dig in my ring finger and my pinky a bit more, which is what I rely to stop on a lot of times, especially in really large flicks. But even then, the MF1 is at like amazing price point of only $13 US on the PureTrack site, and the MF2 is $30. So it's a hard decision. If you're just buying a pad for tac shooters, I'd probably get the MF1. But if you play a lot more games, I'd probably go with the MF2 just because it has a bit more speed, a bit more versatility. But again, like the MF1, it's like for $13, you won't be disappointed with this pad. And I also forgot to mention there's coupon codes out there that will get you an extra 10% off. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.